Hello, welcome to episode 9 of Verdalia Park. Finally, after so long, I'm done with the main street and now I'll be starting a brand new kids area. In this video, I'll build 2 flat rides, one being swings and the other being a Ferris wheel. I will also build other things like carnival games, an ice cream shop, a fountain, restrooms, and an entrance sign to the new area. I hope y'all enjoy and let's get into it. First off, I create the path for the entire kids area. I switch between round and like straight modes just to like make sure I get the exact shape I want. And then I can finally decide which rides I want, which I decided on a Ferris wheel because of course there's going to be a Ferris wheel in a theme park. That's just how it is. And then I have to choose the colors for it, which is kind of hard because I want to make the kids area more colorful than the rest of the park, because the rest of the park is kind of just like this green brown nature cottage vibe, of course. But for the kids area I kind of want to liven it up and make it more appealing to younger people, younger audience. So then I kind of went for like a bright green and I mixed it with orange, even though I changed that later on, but you'll get to see it. And then I start working on the queue line for the Ferris wheel. I could leave it without a queue because it's directly on path, but then I did that and it kind of just looked ugly. People are scattered everywhere, so I feel like having a queue is more sorted and organized. And then I have to decide which path to use, and then I end up using this like brown stone path because I feel like it's brighter than the rest of the park and it matches like this little area. And then I plop down the second ride, which is the swing ride, and I decided to put it like behind the guest services building that's at like the front of the park because I feel like the back of it looks really nice and it'll create a nice backdrop for it. And then I decided it would be cool if this entire area had like a elevation change, if that makes sense. So 2 levels. And in this video I'm going to be working on the first level, and then in the next I'll do the second because I feel like half and half is kind of cool. And then I decide to make this cool like curved ramp going down because I feel like it's just like it just looks grand and nice. And then again I start overthinking the path the path texture. So then I try a bunch of different paths, but then I feel like some of them are too bright and then some of them are like too dark, some of them are too colorful. I don't know. I want to stick to the same vibe of the rest of the park, but in a more childlike way. So I ended up changing it after this, but you'll see it later. And then I decide having a stair right next to the ramp, just for like one's quick and then one's like accessibility, or if you just want to take it slow. I feel like it's cool to have that kind of variety in transportation. And then I just kind of like plop down some rides on this top tier, which I will be working on in the next video. Not in this video. In this video I'm only working on the bottom floor, but I decided to put a carousel up there and a slide thingy later on. Also, while I put these trees down, I kind of have to be careful about like the surroundings, because I don't want people swinging into leaves, because that'll probably hurt. And then, since the new update came out, the May update, I decided to put security cameras everywhere because I realized there is crime going around. So then I have to make sure I cover everywhere with security cameras or security guards or whatever. And then after I'm done with like covering everywhere with security, I start building an ice cream shop, which I got the idea from #ShandyCute on my last video. They said that I should build a kids area and that it should include ice cream, and that like completely sparked something in me. I was like, oh, I don't know why I never thought of ice cream before, but an ice cream shop in a kids area makes so much sense. So thank you, #Shandy, for that comment. I appreciate it, and credit goes to you for this idea. Thank you. For this ice cream shop, I decided to like try and make it real colorful, so then I used this like bright aqua color for the walls, and then I used this like nice little trim just to make it seem a little bit more modern and like kid friendly, I guess. Then I frame the building as in all my other buildings. I frame it with this nice wood pillar, and I recolor it to like a gray color because I feel like it gives ice cream vibes. I don't know, just the color of the blue and the gray mixed together, it looks like ice cream to me. So then, yeah. And now I changed the Ferris wheel to a blue color to match the building right next to it, and I feel like this gives it that kitty colorful vibe, and I just kind of like the way it matches, so it ended up working out nice. And then I started working on the door to this ice cream shop, and I figured I kind of want this door to be like a normal metal door, because I'm trying to make this building like modern but like also the same Verdalia vibe. I don't know, it's like I want it to seem modern for the kids, but then I'm trying to keep it the same Verdalia vibe, so I don't know, you'll see. I just use these coaster supports to create the metal frame for the door, and then after I have that metal frame, I use the glass pieces, and now you can finally change the opacity of them. So that's like, I think, like, thank God. Oh my God, I was wondering if they would add something like that. So thank you, Frontier. Thank you. And then I go to all of my other windows and realize that they're all white and they don't look like they did before. So it's fine. It didn't take that long to fix, but I did have to fix that because they changed the window textures, I guess. And by the way, I'm just letting you know, I don't think this video has any sort of structure at all. When I was building this area, I don't think I ever stuck to one thing and then moved on to the next. It all just kind of happened at once. So if there's no like chapter time thingies on this video, that is why. I mean, I'll try my hardest to make those chapters because I really love putting those, but if there isn't, and if I failed, then that's fine. And then here I realized that people need somewhere to exit the Ferris wheel, and I really had nowhere else to put the exit. So then I decided to move this little path, the elevated path, backward and use this tiny little space as an exit for the riders. I know it seems a little like too tight. I do widen it after a little while, so just bear with me. Oh yeah, and since this game only for some reason lets me put entrance and exit on two sides of the ride, which is like the front and back, I had to put it on the back and make like a little curve, which is not ideal, but I ended up having to do it because it forced me. And then I kind of move around this staircase because I figured it'd be too tight for the people on their way out. So then, yeah, I struggle with that a little bit. And then here I realized how cramped everyone was, so then I move back the wall a little bit, and then it kind of lets them move around easier. I might move that back a little bit more in the second video, or in the next video, because they're still kind of tight, but I don't know, we'll see. I think I left it like that. And then I start working on the sign for the ice cream shop, which I decide to make it an explosion. Just, you know, kid vibes. I used the star props just to kind of get those spike effects, and I just kind of spam them, and then I have like an explosion effect. Then I recolor it red, and then I put a title on it. Then I decided to name it Scoop, and boom, because they rhyme and it sounds cool. And then I work on the inside of the building. I add some windows using all of the custom grid walls that they added in the May update. Yeah, I think it was the May update. They added grid western walls, the ones that I was actually asking for in the last video, so thank you, Frontier. Anyway, then I start working on the queue line for the swings. And then I kind of edit the Ferris wheel queue line just to give it a proper entrance spot. And then I realized you could actually get real grid patterns if you just move the nodes around for the path. So then I did that, and then I feel like it just looks more solid when you line everything up better. And then I felt like the Scoop sign was missing something, so I added a red border by just resizing the existing shape. And then I decided to add a big window in the back of the ice cream shop because lake view, nice. And then I move on to the queue again. I can never stay on one thing, but then I move on to the queues and I add a round queue part around the swing ride because people were overflowing in the zigzag part of the line, so then I had to extend it, and it ended up being fine after that. And then I go back to the ice cream shop and start working on the counter where people can buy their ice cream in. Then I put a barrier to make sure people don't phase through the wall. After that, I put 2 Cosmic Cow milkshake counters and then a slushy counter because they don't really have a real ice cream stand in this game, which is kind of crazy. They should add that, but these ended up working fine, and the things they held afterwards that they bought it kind of looked like ice cream, so I just kept it. Here I put the tables that they added in the restaurant update because I feel like they look really realistic, and I feel like every time I go to a theme park I see tables that look like this, so I put them down. And then I start framing the windows because you gotta frame the windows, I don't know. I was also trying to figure out the color to use for this frame because I kind of wanted to do the red, match it with the sign, but then it kind of just like, I don't know, it looks like Perry the Platypus. Does that make sense? It looks like Perry the Platypus. I figured it looked too weird, so then I ended up keeping it like a dark blue color, and I feel like it kept the colorfulness, the colorful vibe nice, so then I just kept it. I don't know. Then after that, I just added some more details to the inside just by using these like little metal thingies. I don't know what they're called, metal aquatic things. And then I just included some wooden pillars in the inside just to add some like 3D-ness, just to make it not look like a box. Oh yeah, and then here I actually utilized the new path delete draw tool, which is so helpful. Thank God they added that, because it was like, that's like the best thing they could have added. Then I add some windows to the outside, and I just recolor them to like the color of the building. Here I kind of have to be careful where I put the plants, because once again I don't want people hitting leaves while they swing, so I have to make sure they're low enough, but then I also want it to look lush enough, that way it won't look empty and bland. Then I start to work on the wall that I've been envisioning the entire time with this entire ramp situation. So then I just kind of use these little walls and just curve them all around. I do the same thing for the inclined one, but then since it's inclined, it kind of rotates weird, so then I just had to use the world axis, which was kind of hard, and it made some lines that I had to fix later on, but it ended up working out. See, in here, since I had to use like the world axis thing, it left like a bunch of lines, and then I just went back to patch them up, make it look smooth. Then I do the same thing as I did on the incline for this stairs. I decided to change the color to a beige because I feel like it's bright enough to fit the kitty theme, but then it's also like it fits the Verdalia aesthetic. So I kept it like that. After that, I just keep putting walls along the edge of the top level. And then just as an idea, I kind of plopped down a spinny ride on the upper level because I know I want some sort of kiddie coaster up there. I just don't know how I'm gonna integrate it into like the area. So I don't know, that might not stay in the same position, but now y'all know what I'm gonna do in the next episode, I guess. I spoiled it. And then just to add to the collection of this little ride area, I decided to put the hyperspin because I feel like that's literally in every little kid section that you see in any park. Then here I'm just kind of adding fences around the entire ride. Now I have to decide on the color of the ride, and I kind of actually like this preset yellow. I want to incorporate yellow into it, so I decided to keep it, but then I changed the little blue accents to like this light green, and I feel like the mix between the yellow and the light green was nice. Then I go back and complete the wall along the upper level, and I extend it all the way across along the lake. And now we're on to the theming of the rides. So then for the Ferris wheel, since it's just named Verdalia's wheel, I feel like I just need to go with the Verdalia vibe, but then still kind of make it colorful because it's a blue color, but then I still, I want that rocky, natural feeling that Verdalia Park gives as a whole. So then I made the entire foundation out of rocks, and I added some nice plants. Eventually I add too much plants and then I kind of get rid of some, but this is like the general idea for this ride. Then, of course, since it's Verdalia's wheel, I have to have a tree there. There just has to be a tree. And I feel like I need to keep the nature vibe while also being like a kiddie area. So I have to make it look like a bunch of trees and also colorful at the same time. So then this is kind of how I achieve that. Sorry guys if you're sick of the vines already, but that is the Verdalia look. So then I add vines all over the whatever you call them, the supports or legs of the Ferris wheel, because I think it looks nice, and I've never seen a Ferris wheel that looks like that, and I don't even know if that's safe, but it looks nice, so I did it. Then, since I figured most parks kind of have their logo or like name on this little circle on the Ferris wheel, I decided to add my logo. Then I use this resort sign to kind of frame it and make it look like it's not just plopped on there, you know. Then finally, I themed the queue for the Ferris wheel, and I just start by adding all of these fences. And since they added the ability to make curbs invisible in this June update, I did that with this queue, and it immediately made it so much better. Like, thank God. Thank you for doing that, Frontier. Then I decided to stick to that blue, kind of bright blue kitty vibe by making the entire fence blue, which I feel like made it look different from the rest, but then it still looked nice and aesthetic, so I liked it. Oh yeah, and I struggled with like a million ways to shade this part of the queue. I tried like a billion different canopies, and I ended up just spamming umbrellas because I didn't know what else to put. But I feel like it looks nice anyway, and it looks like what would be in a theme park, so I kept it like that. Then I start on the carnival games of the kiddie area, because I figured if it's a kids area, of course there has to be games. So then I added like 5 different ones that you will see, and I just kind of made these like buildings out of the coaster supports again, as usual. Wait, these aren't coaster supports, they're wooden supports, I'm pretty sure. And I decided to make them nice and colorful and like stripy, just to have that like playful vibe that this area kind of was missing a tiny little bit before, but adding these things really set that vibe for this part. Then, since it's next to the blue ride, I decided to keep that bright blue color, and it just livens everything up, I feel like, and it makes it look nice and colorful and appealing to a child's eyes. I would be appealed if I was a child. Then, after kind of making the entire main frame of this building, I start making the first game, which is a can knockdown game. And I just make the cans out of these like primitive shape cylinders, and I just kind of spam them into 3 different things and change the color of each. That way you'd know which game is different from each other. Then I just title it the Classic Can Knockdown. After that, I used these cowboy animatronic that I kind of used in the main street in like the map selling, and I used them again over here because there's not very many like human options for animatronics. So I hope they add the normal staff animatronics, because that I used those so much in the first game. So please, Frontier, next thing, please add that. For the second game, I decide to make it a balloon pop game. So then I create this like backboard where all the balloons are gonna be, and then I used the spheres in the primitive shapes in the game, and I kind of just spammed them around to make it look like you have to pop each and every one, and I changed the color of each, and I guess like whichever one you aim for is like a different prize or whatever. Then I start working on the third game, which is a ring toss, and I built the little sticks by using these primitive cylinders, and I used the snap distance grid thingy to make them nice and even, and I just kind of spammed them, raised their levels, and then I just had a bunch of them. Then I made a stand for them to put the rings on, and that way they can just grab it and throw it real quick. And then I make the darts for this game with like cylinders, because there's not really any way to make real darts, so I didn't know what to do. And then I added some bean bags for people to throw at the cans. Then I just continue building the roof, and I make it span over all three because I feel like it's a lot more it's a lot better if they're all combined into one building. It makes more sense. And now I move back onto the queue for the swing ride, and I just kind of put all of these fences around. Now I put these fence barriers to make sure people don't like phase through these things, and they walk through the middle spot nicely. Then I just use the star primitive shapes to kind of give the game building more of like a childish feel and a more playful vibe. Since there would never just be 3 games, I decided to add 2 more to this area on the other side, just to kind of fill it out a lot better and make it look a little bit more complete, I guess. I pretty much built this building the exact same as the other building, except I changed its colors a little bit because I want it to look different because it's on a different side, it's next to a different ride, so then I changed the color to like this lighter blue. They're both still blue, but one of them is more green than blue, I guess. I don't know. It adds a little bit of contrast. Now here I'm creating the sign, the entrance sign for the Ferris wheel. And I'm just gonna name it Verdalia's Wheel because every theme park has like a Ferris wheel, and it's usually the signature flat ride that a park should have. So, of course, Verdalia has to be in the name. I make sure to theme it all flowery since it's Verdalia's Wheel. Of course, there's flowers everywhere in this park. So, of course, Verdalia's Wheel should have some flowers on it. And I just kind of make it look as natural as possible, kind of like it's straight from a garden. Then, since I feel like changing the fence really sets the vibe for the entire place, I changed the color of the swing fence to like this aqua color. That is also on the ride, so I feel like it kind of matches. Then I ended up changing the path type again, and I ended up sticking with this brown stone, and I feel like it really matched the theme of this part of the park. And then since I felt like the area next to the ramp was a little empty, I decided to put down a fountain, a custom made fountain. And I decided to kind of make it tie into the flowery theme of like the other two rides, and I have to do that and also make it nice and colorful and childish, so you'll see what I do. So here I ended up using these like oblate spheroid things in the primitive shapes to create a flower shape, because I thought it would be nice to have a flower shape on top of the fountain and then have the water fall between each petal. I feel like that would look nice, so then that's what I do here. Here I just place fountain jets on each little crease, that way it looks like the water's falling through, and I feel like that's a nice effect, and I feel like I haven't really seen that before, so I like the idea for a little flower fountain. And then I just kind of spam around these water effects just to make it look like a real fountain. Once again, I use these barriers to make sure that people don't walk through it. And since I feel like every fountain at every theme park has benches around it, that way people can just rest there, chill next to the water. Maybe it'll like mist on them if it's hot or whatever. That'll be a nice place to sit. And then I put vending machines right next to it. So it could just be like a nice chill area. They could buy drinks and chillax there. Anyway, and then I start on the restroom, and I put it in between the ramp and the queue for the swing ride, because I feel like it's a nice spot to put it, and I have some space to work with, so a restroom in a nice little spot is always good. Oh yeah, and I really like this wooden trim piece for the roof. I just feel like it gave like the perfect vibe for this restroom, and I had to like put it down on all of the roof's edges. Oh, and I just have to say that the draw tool in this game is like the best thing. Like look at that. You could just draw it so easily. You don't understand the struggle if you've never experienced trying to build these little areas in Planet Coaster 1. It was a nightmare. Oh yeah, and I don't know if there's a better way to do this, but when like the walls start like Z-fighting and like flickering, I just move them around. I don't know if it looks messy, but oh well, it's the only way to fix it. Now that I'm finished with like the layout of the restroom, I start spamming all of these vines along the fences, and I put flowers on them just to make it kind of look like a garden. That's honestly what I want here. I want to make it look like a nice, beautiful, colorful garden. Then I decide, since I'm putting all of these flowers everywhere, it has to like correlate to the theme of this ride. So then this ride, I kind of just spam these like wooden tropical flowers on it, and I feel like it fits the color of the ride so well, and like it looks, I think it looks great in that corner next to the entrance building guest services thingy. I feel like the backdrop looks so nice, and it's like a beautiful little garden, which is what I wanted. And then I just like spam flowers here on the bottom of the base, and I think it looks nice. I made sure to change at least one of these like cowboy characters just to make sure that they don't look like they're copy and pasted. So then I put one leaning, and then the two others can stay the same, I guess. And now finally moving on to the next game, I make this one a plinko game where you drop a little disc and then it tumbles down all the different little sticks. I made sure to put like little things that look like slots at the bottom, that way you can know like, oh, if my plinko thingy gets in there, then I'll win. And the golden one is the win, the green is probably something else, purple is, I don't know, some sort of prize. That one was pretty fast to build, but now I'm moving on to the next game, which is a Wheel of Fortune. And I kind of use the same method as I did on the sign of the Ferris wheel, and I just used a little frame, and then I put a little triangle on it to make it look like if it spins, it'll select one of them. And this was a pretty easy game to make, and I also just imported an image from Google, so that made it a lot easier. Then I just add little details like these little disc plinko thingies that you drop, and some more staff people. And since I did stars on the other building, I figured I'd do another shape, and I ended up just combining two ovals to make hearts all over it, which I thought was cool. And then since people, especially kids, need spots to rest and sit down, I put a bunch of benches everywhere all over this place. I also decided to put benches right here in the middle because you gotta have somewhere to sit down while you watch your friends play games or whatever. I thought that was a cool idea. And then I worked on the foliage and like the rock work along the edges just to make it look as natural as possible in the lake. I'm probably going to work on it more in the next episode because I feel like I was missing a little bit of realism from it. So you'll see. But this is just like a starting point, I guess. And then just to be cool, I decided to add a fence in the middle of these benches because I feel like I've seen that before. I'm pretty sure at Fiesta, Texas, and I decided to just put that because I feel like it's a little bit of realism, and a trash can on the edge. Then I decided to be a little bit extra and make some water fountains in this spot where the restrooms are. I also use this like new sci-fi piece because I feel like, I don't know, it was like the perfect foundation to build a water fountain on. And then to be even more extra, I decided to add a bottle refiller on the top of it. And now I decided to put some doors on the restroom because it'd be weird if they were just kind of without doors. And then, as I always do in this Verdalia Park, I decided to put vines all over the concrete because I felt like, I don't know, it looked too plain. I can never just have something look too plain like that. Sorry guys, I just have to do it. Oh yeah, and I also had to change the restroom wall color because I felt like the white was a bit striking. So then I just changed it to like a nice brown color. Then I make sure to fill out the area and put foliage because you gotta make it look as natural as possible. And of course, more vines on this building because I think it's too many vines, guys, be honest. I don't know. I like the way it looks, but tell me how you feel about all the vines. I don't know. Anyway, here is where I start the entrance to this entire kids area, and you will see the name in a little bit. I make the entrance, I just like kind of spam all of these rocks to make like a cool, I was gonna say natural, but maybe not natural because I built it myself. A cool, oh well, natural looking archway. And more vines, guys, more vines. But this time it looks cool, I swear. Like, the hanging vines on the arch, I don't know, it fits, okay? Vines fit everywhere, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, and I decided to move these trees just to kind of make it like a surprise when you walk through and you don't see much until you're in there. And then I decided to name this area Verdalia Grove. I feel like it matched the kids' vibe. And I actually got the name idea from someone on my Twitch, Dunile. Thank you, Dunile, for this. Thank you very much for this idea. I appreciate it. And then I kind of like shaped these rocks around the sign just to like make it look like the sign has a proper support and it's not just like floating. I used these big planks just to kind of make a transition from one area to the next, I guess. Make it look seamless. And here I'm building a pergola for the people in this queue to have shade from, and I just use this like Viking piece and I kind of just spam it around because I thought it looked good as a pergola, and it worked out. And then I start working on the entrance to the swing ride, and I decide to call it Floral Flyers since flowers is the entire theme of it. And I figured that it kind of sounds like a Fortnite POI name, but it works and it's catchy, I think. And then just to fill everything out a little bit more, I decided to put these nice little flowery vines next to the fountain because I feel like it just adds to the magical feel. And after I'm done with that, I start working on nighttime lighting as I do in the end of all of my videos. So I decided to put these nice floodlights to light up the entrance. And then just for nighttime coolness and like glowiness, I decided to put these glowy flowers, kind of like I did on FireFlight, the queue of FireFlight. And then I placed these signature Verdalia lights around the Verdalia's Grove. And I just make sure to light all of the signs up, that way people can just see it really clearly. Oh yeah, and I also realized that they added the ability for lights to be on only at night. And I feel like that didn't exist before, because I don't remember the lights turning on at nighttime only. I don't know. I think that's a new feature, but I really like it. And I decide to put these lights on the back of the swings, because I feel like it's cool to see each individual swing going at night. And I also go around with these nice little lanterns actually. I don't know if they're new or if I just never really noticed them, but they light up the surroundings like really well. And I should have been using them more, honestly, but I'm using them now. And they're really good. Then I use the same little ball light that I used in the eating area of the steakhouse in my main street, and I light up the concrete walls with them. Then, just to make it look cooler at night, I decided to light up the fountain too. Oh, and since I feel like the guest services building is such like a vital part of the background of the swing ride, of course I had to light it up because I just feel like it looks so cool in the back. Oh yeah, and I knew I was missing something about like like safety for these people. They better not climb these fences, so I put these little warning signs everywhere because you're gonna be responsible if you trespass. Anyway, I think that's pretty much the end of this episode, so y'all let me know what you think about this new area and give me some ideas. Like, I've been really looking at y'all's comments, and I feel like this episode I've really been working on y'all's ideas because they like spark me up. It's really nice. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'm at 800 subscribers, guys. That's crazy. So thank y'all so much for like all of the support you've given me on this series, and I hope I can start uploading faster because now I'm on summer. I have no more school for now. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and here's some clips of my build.